and they see a man slumped against a seawall. His spleen was 3 times the normal size. His stomach was full of blood. Whatever label he had in his clothes had seemed to be cut off with scissors.
Shags her, and while he's shagging her, she's having so much fun that she rips all the tags off of his clothes because she's like grabbing it.
Well, perfectly with nothing. You are reaching.
and then the sex is so good that his spleen explodes.
Peckish for answers, mysteries and conspiracies.
Hello, guys, and welcome back to Peckish for Answers, episode. Oh, what episode is it? I don't know.
Episode
6.
6.
Yeah.
I can't believe it's episode 6 already. That's crazy.
Yeah.
So I'm your host today, and I'm joined with Rolf.
Hello.
And I'm joined with a very tired Oscar.
Hello.
Without the attitude.
So today, I teased it a little bit the last episode. It was said it was an Australian mystery. We're going down under. So this is the mystery of the Summerton Man. Okay. So I'll just get started really. Just get straight into it. So we are going back all the way back to 1948, Australia, Adelaide. Don't know if that's the west or east coast. I think it's the east coast, I believe.
Yeah, I don't know.
Don't matter.
Most of it's on the East Coast, so
yeah. So this December 1st, 1948. It's 6:30 in the morning on Somerton Beach, just outside Adelaide, Australia. A couple is walking along the sand, and nice morning stroll, and they see a man slumped against a seawall. They didn't really think much of it at first when they walked past. They thought, okay, that's a bit weird. But they saw that he had a full suit and tie and polished shoes. Like, he was very smart. Like, where they thought that's a bit strange. Like, usually they might see, maybe a homeless man or like a drunk guy or something like slumped. But the fact that he's wearing a suit, they were like, that's a bit strange. So they went over and to check up on this guy, and it just kind of looked like he was asleep. But then they checked, and he was dead. They found a dead corpse. And
So
they
went past and they just sort of like looked at it, and then they were like, "Hang on, we should have a look at that again."
Yeah, but it's like a second kind of like check. They just walked past, went, that's whatever, and then they kind of went, "Oh wait, he's wearing a suit. That's a bit strange." Like,
his shoes are polished.
Yeah, hey, those are shiny shoes. What's this guy doing? But the fact like he's wearing a suit is a bit like you wouldn't see someone wearing a suit usually, like just slumped on the beach.
Yeah,
6:30 in the morning. It's a bit weird. So they called the authorities, they called the police. Obviously, they just found a dead body. The police come and they arrive, and obviously coroner off the area and have a look, and they have a look and they go through his pockets, his things, anything like that they can find, but they find no ID. They don't find any wallet, nothing to tell us who this person is. The only thing they find is a bus ticket to the suburbs of Adelaide, a train ticket he never used, and a packet of juicy fruit gum.
So when you say a bus ticket to the suburbs of Adelaide, are we in the centre?
We're just outside it.
Right, so he's got the bus.
Yeah.
And he has a train ticket from... There hasn't...
the train ticket he never used. It had never been used. It wasn't stamped or anything. And a cigarette pack. But it was an army... So 1948. So it was an army club cigarette pack. But it was... The strange thing about the cigarette pack, so that's quite like a cheap brand of cigarettes back in that like 1940s. But actually, what was inside the cigarettes pack was a pack full of, I'm going to butcher this name, Kensitas, which is apparently a very expensive and rare brand of cigarettes at the time. So they thought they were like, that's a bit strange.
Yeah, a bit strange.
I don't know
That he's
why
put
they
expensive cigarettes into the pack of a
cigarettes in
cheap
like a
cigarette. Mate.
yeah. They thought, well, that's a bit strange. I don't know why he's done that. And then they took a closer look of his clothes because that was like, why is this guy wearing a suit? What is this? Just like some businessman and something? What's going on? They were very like, they looked at the scene and went, this is very suspicious already. They kind of went, this is suspicious. Like they didn't, they treated it very suspicious from the get-go. And they looked at his clothes and found that every single label, so the brand, the size, the laundry marks, whatever label he had in his clothes, had seemed to be cut off with scissors, like like there was no when you just pull it, it was like they were just gone. So they must have been cut off with scissors, something like that. Even the tag on his vest. But yeah, so that's like the bit so that they're finding the body. I can tell you a bit more about what the coroner looked at. I'll tell you a bit more of the coroner. So the coroner looked at his body and noticed two things that don't make sense for just like a random guy. One, the coroner noticed that his calf muscles were incredibly high and pronounced. Something of like an professional athlete might have, or our fellow Oscar Neville might have.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. Wouldn't be surprised.
And his toes were wedge shaped, pushed together at the front, which is usually a sign of someone who's a dancer, because they're always on their toes and they have to like stand like that, dance around like a ballet dancer, like a ballet dancer.
Yeah, they stand on their tiptoes.
Yeah. So it's a sign of someone who's very, but when they did his autopsy, so they looked at his, obviously like his organs, see what was the cause of death and things like that. His spleen was 3 times the normal size. His stomach was full of blood. So the coroner was convinced that he was poisoned. So they did a test for every known poison that was known in 1948, and they found nothing. It was untraceable. There was no poison in his system at all.
So a spleen, what does a spleen do?
I think a spleen is basically a filter for your organ system. I don't know exactly, but I'm pretty sure it's that.
So is that just like one that sort of thing would?
Yeah, so I think poison would, yeah. So that's why the coroner was like convinced he was poisoned, but they found, and his stomach was full of blood. I think that happens a lot when you put
right. Okay, so these are common symptoms of
a poisoning attack, and they couldn't find any poison in his system.
Okay.
Which was they were just like, what is going on? What is going on here? This guy. What do you think's going on? I just want to gauge where you're at the moment. I mean, it just started, but I just want to gauge where you're at.
Well, I want to say a couple of things.
Yeah.
Firstly, the cutting off of the clothes thing, the tags, that is not suspicious at all. Like, that I can see that. I think that's like, obviously he just doesn't like the tags. Maybe I think there's maybe he's a bit OCD. Maybe he doesn't like the fact that the tags are flaking around. I mean, some people don't like the tags on their skin. I mean, obviously, if it's on a jacket, it's not really going to be on your skin. But maybe if he does it for the vest, then he wants to do it for the jacket too. So he just gets rid of it on all of them. That doesn't surprise me. I think that's strange. The cheap cigarettes the expensive cigarettes in a cheap packet, again, could be explained by like a lot of different very reasonable things. Like maybe he has this cheap pack of cigs and he uses that pack as his pack that he carries around when he travels with him, and then he buys the expensive ones, and maybe he takes out like a certain number each day to limit himself from smoking too much. So maybe he takes out 4 every day, Just make sure he only smokes 4 in a day. I mean, that's probably not the reason, but like that's what I mean. Like there could be a very reasonable explanation for that. I mean, there could be other things, but I think those 2 things are very, very easily explainable. And then, but then, that whole thing about how he died. So, I mean, I'm no coroner, dead body expert. But what I'm hearing is that they basically just deduced that he didn't get poisoned by any known poison. But there's still lots of ways. I assume there's still, quite a few other ways that you can die from poisoning or not with something from the blood.
So do you think he was poisoned then? Do you think he was poisoned?
For now, I have no idea. I mean, so if he was wearing if he's slumped against a seawall, I mean, it could very much be that he's, what's probably happened, I suppose, is either he's been poisoned or something's happened, and he's walking to the train or walking to the bus or something, and he's like feeling really crap, so he sits down against the seawall, and then he dies from whatever's going on. Because I don't think, but then it's also the thing is, it's weird that I was gonna say it's weird that I was gonna say it was weird whoever poisoned him wouldn't like follow him and then chuck his body in the sea, but that's probably not that weird. I don't know. I think that's my thoughts for now. I think there's much.
Okay, yeah. I've got some more. I mean, Oscar?
Yeah, I think it's well, when you started explaining it, I thought it was a bit like the Operation Mincemeat. Is that what it's called?
Yeah. The one where it's they get the spy. Sorry, not the spy. They get a dead soldier.
Yeah.
They make him wash ashore on the Spanish coast.
Yeah, they give
with
him
false
backstory.
information.
Yeah. But I mean, obviously the war's done. So
1948.
There's no most, but unless it's for another reason. But then
I mean,
also,
1948 is prime time for Cold War. Just gonna have that.
Yeah. So when you were explaining that, I was like, well, it's kind of like similar, but then I don't know. There's not exactly like a note that's been found or anything that would insinuate that that's the motive. But it's definitely, it sounds a bit suspicious. At the moment, there's a lot of weird.
So
strange things. Yeah,
I got some more information. I'm going to just let you tell you. So after this, months have gone by. The body is about to be buried as under John Doe because they don't know who this person is. But a local professor decides, because this was a very big case back then. It was very interesting to the press, interesting to the public, to the police involved. No one knew who this guy was. They were like, "Oh, I need to find out." And a local professor decided to do one last check of the clothes, and I don't know how to right. He found a tiny hidden fob pocket inside the trousers, the kind used for a pocket watch. And tucked deep inside was a scrap of paper tightly rolled up, and it had 2 words printed on it in a strange font: Taman should. Does anyone know what Taman should means?
No, I don't know what language it is. What?
So it's It's Persian, and it means it is ended or the finished. So like,
right, okay.
So he had a very small scrap piece of paper rolled up tightly in his secret pocket, saying it is ended. And they found that this was torn from the very last page of a very rare book of poetry called, and I'm going to butcher this, the Rubaiyat of Omar Khayyam.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. And so where's that from? That is that.
I think it's Persian. It's like it's a really like rare book of poetry.
Yeah.
And so the police were really excited about this evidence because they hadn't really got any evidence since the finding of the body. So they put up a public appeal to the people of Adelaide, and said, we want this book. If you've got this book in your house, please give it to the police. We need more information on it. And luckily, one man he came to the police station and he said, I found this book in the back of my car. And the interesting thing is, he said he had parked his car near Somerton Beach the night the man died.
Ooh.
He didn't think of anything of it until he saw the news. So, and then on the back cover of that book, there are 5 lines of capital letters, which looks like a jumble mess of, I'm going to read them out. MRGOABDALIGE. And it looked like almost a code.
Wait, there was
a
jumble of letters at the back of his book.
Yeah.
Is his book the one with the rip in it?
Yeah, does it have the missing page?
Yes, I believe so. Yeah.
So that is the book.
I don't know actually. I need to. I might. Let me double check that. I don't know for sure.
I'd imagine it is if they looked in.
I thought the police were just asking for I
think they must have been
to understand what it was.
Yeah, I imagine they were
about.
But then maybe because otherwise it would be it wouldn't be any use knowing that was near the Somerton Beach, because if the page was still in there, then it's like, well, yeah.
Well, so you're thinking that the police were asking for anyone who has the book to see if that was the book with the missing pieces.
No, I think they well, maybe, yeah. I think
yeah, it has. Sorry, it was the page that had been torn.
So it was the book. Right.
Yeah, it was the book. So it was the back page, last page of the poetry book, and this copy that the guy gave to the police was the book with the rip.
That's pretty cool. Imagine looking in your car and be like, "Oh, I got that book," and then you're like,
"Well, go to the last
page." Yeah, it's like
that would freak me out. That would freak me out. So what the implication is? What is this businessman or something? Walk past the car, looked in the window, and be like, "Ooh, fancy reading that?" Opened it up and like broke into the car, opened it up, ripped out the last page, and just carried on.
Then wrote a code on the back.
See, I think
there's a written. So those jumble of letters are written in the book. Like
they're written on the back cover of that book.
I think it's got to be someone else.
And this guy who came into the police station, he said, "This is my copy of the book, but I did not write this code. This is not my code. I did not rip that page."
Yeah, I think it's got to be someone else, third party, and then they put the thing in the guy's pocket. That's what I think. A bit like the Operation Mincemeat.
But this guy's owned this book.
Yeah.
It's his book. It's in his car.
It's his car. Yeah, it's his book.
And then someone somehow got to it.
He just saw the news and went, "Oh, I think I've got that book," and he went and checked, and then he gave it to them.
So basically, the assumption is this guy's found his book, written in it, ripped out a piece of the page, and then
it's tiny
in his pocket.
But yeah, it's because it's literally just 1-2 words out of the last page.
That's really strange.
Oh, so the note that's in the guy's pocket
is literally
hasn't got anything written on it, like handwritten. It's just 2 words.
It's 2 words from the book that say
fine.
Tamam should, which means it is ended.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah,
that is interesting. Consider me curious.
Yeah.
Consider
me also curious.
I can give you some more information, a little bit more.
Yeah.
So, also in the book, the back of the book, was a phone number which belonged to a nurse named Jessica Thompson, who lived just a few minutes' walk from there, from where the body was found. The police showed her a plaster cast. They showed her a picture of the dead man's face. Witnesses say she looked like she was going to faint. She looked at the floor and refused to look at it again. She claimed, though, she didn't know who it was. But she had a son, Robin, years later, which researchers, because this is a case that went on for what,
They
like,
say what he looked like
ages.
him or something.
Yeah. So had the same exact same rare ear shape and the exact same missing teeth as the Somerton Man.
Missing teeth.
Missing teeth is
like genetically.
hypodontia.
And sorry, where was this woman's phone number found again? You said
In the back of the book.
in the back of this other guy's book, the one that's got the rip out.
Yeah.
So in the back of this book has been written.
I feel really bad for this guy. Like, he's just like got this rare poetry book, and then there's just loads of random rubbish in it.
Well, maybe.
So this guy's basically the Summerton Man has written in the back of this book about 8 random letters,
I don't know,
and a phone number, and there's a piece there's a ripped out piece. That's what's going on.
Yeah, well, we don't.
Well, we don't know who did what.
We don't know who's
It could be someone else.
It could be the Somerton Man. It could be someone else. But
okay.
Yeah. Interesting.
So, yeah, you have that, which is a bit weird. So that's what do you think? What do you think is going on here? Because that is really like the bulk of the case. I've got a few little like things about it afterwards, but that is literally all the evidence we have as the case. We find Somerton Man. He's washed up on a beach. He's dead. He's in a full suit. The only evidence that they find on him is a small little paper with 2 words from a poetry book that was found in a car of some other person and had a phone number at the back and a code, 5 lines of code. I think.
Yeah.
Go on.
Well, there's a lot. I don't know. I'd be interested to hear what like the leading theories are, but I mean, I imagine that someone probably wants him dead for some reason. I have no idea what the reason might be. I don't know what this man did or whatever, but they want him dead for some reason. And for example, the doctor or the nurse that his number was in there. Although, why would they put that in there? I was going to say, like, you know, they said, like, you know, you can't say anything or we'll kill you as well. But then I don't know why they would put that phone number. Yeah, I don't know, to be honest. There's quite a lot of things that.
This is a weird one. So this guy who owns the book, right? He drove down Somerton Beach that night as well.
Yeah.
Why?
No, I think he just parked there.
Would you live there?
I think he lives. Yeah, he lives nearby.
Okay, so he
like his car. His car's not parked on the beach. It's like a few minutes away from the beach.
Okay. So he's parked near the beach. He lives there, and the book is in the back of his car. Is that where he left it?
I can't remember if it was the back, but I think it was in his boot. Yeah.
Okay. Does this guy? Did he leave the car unlocked? Does he tend to leave the car unlocked?
Well, what's locking mechanisms like back in 1948?
They definitely had.
I believe so. Basically, I don't know if he unlocked his car, but I do know that there wasn't any sign of like breaking and entering. So he probably in 1940s. To be fair, people probably didn't actually lock stuff up. So it's quite like a.
So maybe like I think the only thing we can assume is that he didn't lock his car, and this guy opened up the boot. And then, wrote the stuff in there. But then why would you do that?
Well, also, why... I mean, why did that guy have a Persian poem as well in the first place?
For a very rare poetry book, I might add.
Well, exactly. So I'd want to know, you know, can he read it? Does he even understand it? And then, yeah, because it's a bit of a weird. a weird thing to. If someone put it in his pocket,
yeah.
like they have to know what it means, and they'd have to know that. Yeah, it's just lots of weird stuff going on.
I'll say, I definitely think that this girl, the one with the phone number, definitely shagged him. They were probably shagging, or maybe shagged once. What do we know about her? Does she have a husband? Or what is she? Who is she?
She so I'll go into her a little bit more because I've got some theories that one is about her that I want to talk about,
Unless,
and there's another theory of who this person is.
Should we have a couple more, like, trying to come up with some theories, or?
I mean, it's interesting. You haven't. I don't know. You're not going down the route that
I was going to say, unless
you might.
Let me think then. Let me think. Yeah, go on, Oscar.
I was going to say, unless that man that's now dead just cheated, or sorry, the woman, the nurse, maybe she was married and then had a partner.
So I can confirm she was married.
Okay, so that's
so maybe So he got caught with her, and then there's some other bloke or group of people like will get revenge because she's cheating basically, but this guy's So maybe that can be a motive. I can see how that could, but then obviously it's still weird with all the poem and stuff like that. But it's a little bit more explainable. But
yeah. I think the fact that she said she didn't know him and looked all sheepish means that, and the fact that she's married as well, that all makes a lot of sense. So she's definitely
1948 as well. If you're cheating on your husband back then,
wow, yeah. So she's committing adultery with this man, or has committed adultery with this man one time. Now, the fact that nobody knew who he was means he definitely wasn't from the town. And the fact that they didn't find out who he was at all, I mean, that's pretty astonishing. So he must be. I mean, he's probably also not from Australia, I can only assume.
He must have family.
This is national news. Someone would have called in and been like, "That's my my mate."
No one.
So I mean, do you know what? Is he a white man? Do you know what ethnicity is?
Yeah, I can. Do you want me to get a picture from?
Yeah, go on. Because that's pretty amazing that he could be if this was a big story on national news and nobody said they knew who he was. I mean, I found that really hard to believe.
Yeah, he must be from somewhere else.
And the fact that he was in a suit, I mean, why would he be in a suit?
So let me share my screen for you boys. So this is what the Summerton Man looks like. This is a picture of him there. You can see.
Whoa.
This is a colorized version of him.
Like a very sickly Daniel Craig.
He does actually, yeah. I didn't think about that.
A little bit, yeah.
But yeah. So this is what he looked like. This is what they found him. And you can see he's got a shirt and a tie.
Okay.
So this is
I don't know.
See his feet if you want. There's his feet.
Oh my god.
I mean, they're pretty
messed up. Yeah.
Yeah.
God, I have no idea. So maybe he was. I don't know. Yeah, why would he be in a business suit? Oh man, I'm really struggling with this one. So he's obviously shagged this girl. She's, saying I don't know who that is, but obviously has his child many years later, or not many years later. Not later that year. And then obviously maybe her husband finds out and basically kills him. Don't know how, but there's lots of ways that you can die.
There was no sign of like attack. His body was like fine. His insides, his spleen it looked like every evidence was pointing to he's been poisoned.
Or maybe
I think there's ways to die that look like you've been poisoned.
And they did. They checked his last meal, and it was a Cornish pasty actually.
Oh,
yeah, and they tested I think they tested the Cornish pasty, and there was no poison found in there.
Well,
like anything bad.
Unless there's a way, because
it was a delicious Cornish pasty.
No, boy, they're all delicious. Maybe because if she's a nurse, maybe I don't know what her actual husband did, but maybe he's a doctor or something, and like maybe he knows, or someone that he knows of a good way to poison someone or kill them without like clear sort of evidence.
Wait, is that girl? The girl's a nurse? Did you say?
She a nurse or a doctor? You said something about that.
I'm gonna. So I feel like this is good time. About half an hour in, we're gonna take a little break. So, Rolf, what's your main theory before our break?
All right, my main theory is actually my main theory is that this guy was walking by. He's like, I think he's probably like he's come to Australia recently. He's like he was like an immigrant or something, and he's gone to this place. He's gone to a. Oh shit! No, I just have no idea how he knows this woman. I don't know. Look, he's rocked up.
It's a great theory.
He's rocked up. He's in his business suit because he wants to find a job. He's walked down the street. He's seen this lady. He's been like, "Oi, you!" And she's like, "Wow, this guy's fit. He looks like Daniel Craig. I'm going to shag him."
Or Daniel Craig in 1948.
Yeah, and like nobody sees this guy, and he immediately shags her. And while he's shagging her, she's having so much fun that she rips all the tags off of his clothes because she's like grabbing him.
Well, perfectly nothing. You are reaching.
and then the sex is so good that his spleen blows up.
Is that possible?
And as he's walking, he's walking back, he's also drunk. He's walking back, and she obviously gave him his phone number. And he's like, "Oh shit, I'm gonna forget this phone number. I'm really drunk. I'm never gonna remember it."
I don't think they found any alcohol in the system, buddy.
And then he opens. He just sees a car. He's like, "Oh, I see a book in there." He opens it up, and he writes down the phone number. And he tries to write down her name, but he can't remember it very well, so he just writes down a load of letters. And then he's like, "Oh, well, I like that word at the end, tamid or whatever it was." And he rips it out. And then he goes and sits down, but then, his spleen's blown up from the good sex, so he dies. That's my leading theory. I don't know if that's sort of what...
I don't think that will be other people's leading theories.
On my notes, I didn't have Rolf and Oscar were going to come up with the sex theory. I didn't really have that.
That was Rolf.
So, sorry.
He was a creep. I didn't come up with it.
What was yours, Oscar?
I mean, it's... I also can't really find anything that just adds all the things together, because otherwise, if I did, then
it's a doozy. This one, isn't it? It's a doozy.
It's a real doozy. There's nothing like other ones. I feel like I could pull together some like some shoddy theories, but here I've literally got nothing.
What's a doozy?
Because
what does doozy mean?
Like a real hard one.
Oh,
you never heard that term before?
You never had doozy?
No, I don't know.
It's a real doozy.
No, it's doozy.
You sound stupid for not knowing what doozy is.
Yeah, that is stupid.
That's stupid.
That's a stupid theory as well.
I think it's got to be someone's pissed because they're shagging. Why no one knows who he is? Maybe he's a man from a different country on business or something. Oh no! No, I don't think he is. The whole suit stuff has been put on him to try and cover up something. So I think he's over here for some reason. He's shagging this nurse or whatever. Her husband finds out, pissed, and then he's like, "Well, I'm going to kill this guy because I'm that pissed." Maybe their marriage was on the ropes anyway, and he's on his last legs. So he's pissed, and then he kills him. But I don't know why he would write in the book. That doesn't make sense. Maybe no, that also doesn't make sense. I got no idea.
All right, I think that's a good time to take a break. And we'll be back shortly.
All right.
Welcome back, guys. So hope you've had a good break. So I'm sure we're going to go through just really quickly what we found, and then I'm going to go through some leading theories of who the Summerton Man is. And
is there not any more information?
No, that's pretty much it.
I do think Well,
Um,
I mean, I don't know if he did a bad job or whether we.
1940s. I mean, it's a bit like it's not. They're not going to have as DNA and all this and that like
Yeah,
what
I
we
guess
have and
so.
stuff.
But,
So,
right.
and there just wasn't much evidence. Like you got to give it to them. There just wasn't much evidence to begin with. So basically, yeah, we found a man in a suit, well dressed, in the Somerton Beach, slumped over, and he is dead. The police come over. They find no evidence apart from months later. They find that he had a scrawled up very tightly note with 2 words saying, what was it again? I lost it now. 2 words basically saying it is end. This is the end. In I'm going to start again. Fuck that.
Oh,
Absolutely fuck that. Here we go.
Awkward.
That is awkward. Where is it? On my notes. Oh, shit. It's got to scroll up here now. Fucking hell, mate. Yeah, we got it. Sorry. Right. And welcome back, guys. So welcome back from the break. We're just going to go through some more information and some leading theories, and then we'll see what you boys think. So we found a man slumped over on Somerton Beach, dressed in a suit. He's well dressed. Police are called to the scene. They find no evidence apart from a tiny little note that they found months later after they did another secondary search in a secret little pocket in his trousers with the words Tamam Shud, which is Persian for it is ended. And they found that this was from a very rare poetry book. And they went up to the public and said, "Oh, what's this? Anyone got this?" And then some guy said, "Oh, I've got this." Took his book in, his copy of the book. It was in the car, which was parked near Somerton Beach. And funny enough, his book had it had the same rip, and then had a 5-letter lines of capital letters of like a code, and also a phone number of a local nurse who lived a few minutes away from the beach, which was interesting. And they called her in, and she denied knowing the man, but looked visibly shocked when they showed her a picture of his body and face. So I've got some theories.
I've actually got one more thing that I just thought. So the whole time I was thinking, there's no way this guy who owns the book could really be involved, because like, why the hell would he hand it in? But now I think actually maybe there is a chance that he's involved. Maybe he does know the guy. Maybe he's like, maybe the guy lived with him or something. Maybe he's the one who killed him or something like that. But then I was like, why would he hand in the book? Well, what if, the police are saying, oh yeah, blah, blah, blah. You've got if you've got this book, please send it in. And let's say some of this guy's mates know that he has this book, or lots of people know that he has this book. I don't know if they would. They'd find it really weird and suspicious that he wouldn't hand it in. So maybe he's before it gets brought up, he's go, oh yeah, I've got it. Let me hand mine in. Before, as a sort of to make him look more innocent. So maybe he is involved in some way.
Maybe.
So maybe he knew the guy. Maybe he met the guy that evening. Maybe he was part of the reason. Maybe it was an accident they died. Maybe somehow, I don't know, something happened, and I don't know. Maybe he was drowning or something. I don't know. And
maybe.
So yeah, that's my.
That's a good theory. I like that.
But my leading theory is still, a more calmed down version of the original one I said.
Yeah. So interestingly, you boys didn't mention this theory at all, but this is the biggest theory, and everyone and most of the public believed in this theory. And it was because I did mention it, but this is very not hype, but Cold War era. And people thought that this guy was a Soviet spy.
Well, I did say I thought he was like an immigrant.
Yeah.
That's a good.
So they thought
Soviet
they
spy,
thought
yeah.
they've because in '94 it was the start of the
Oscar
Cold
did
War.
say it. You talk about the Operation Mincemeat.
Yeah, I did say.
Yeah, he did. Yeah. So interestingly, Australia had a secret Soviet spy ring called the Venona Intercepts during the Cold War that were found out later on. And the labels getting cut out was apparently a standard spy thing that the Soviets would do to prevent tracing origin. And the fact that he was in peak physical shape,
That's a good point. Yeah.
Got
suggests
race
that
cars.
maybe race car, he's a
He-
spy.
The picture he did look like he could be like quite Slavic as well.
Yeah,
I could
it
see
did.
that.
Yeah, he did, and he looked very like kind of generic at the same time, so he could fit in. And also the fact that he had a code on the book, which people think still no one has yet to decode that code, by the way. But people thought that looks like a spy code of some form, some things. And people thought because he was trying to get to Woomera, which was a top secret missile testing site just north of Adelaide at the time.
Oh, I didn't know that.
No, I know. Sorry, I didn't tell you that, but and the fact that there was no poison found in his body, but he looked like everything was leading to he died by poison, was that it was some KGB chemical that they hadn't discovered yet, which could happen.
I mean, that's what I was saying. We're like, it's just that there could be a poison that just they haven't tested for.
So they believe that he was a stay behind spy that was part of like a operation, and then maybe he had gone a bit rogue, and then the Soviets had killed him basically.
Was Australia
secrets?
What was Australia like doing though?
In Cold War, yeah, they were
on
involved,
the
definitely
American side,
American and British side. Yeah, like they would have like I said, the missiles. They would have missiles, military bases in Australia that the Americans would use. Soviets would have definitely been heavily involved in that.
Okay,
but
interesting.
The biggest like con of like negative, I guess, of that theory is why would they leave the Ruby Act, which is the poetry book, in just a random car, which is very sloppy for a spy to do.
But also, it's not their book; it's that guy's book.
Well, why do they need that? I don't understand why they need that. But why couldn't they just kill him and not put a note in his pocket?
But then I guess they take it though, wouldn't they? Wouldn't they just like take it? Do you not? Do you think? I guess why would they just leave it there? Just for the police to find.
I don't understand what the whole point of the book is in the first place.
Well,
do you think unless it's to,
I guess,
to pin it on that guy?
Maybe.
Go on. No, I was just going to say that guy's had the book for ages. Is that not implied?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. So yeah, that is the leading theory of at the time, and yeah. But there is another theory which Rolf, you touched upon a little bit.
Yeah, I was just going to say, just before you say that with that theory, the nurse's role. Oh yeah, I guess the kid. I forgot about the kid. I don't mind. Forget it.
So the second theory, kind of one of the leading theories, is that, which is the Jessica connection, which is the nurse's name, is the secret love child. So this is quite like a sort of a heartbreaking one, but so Jessica Thomas, the nurse who lived 400 meters away from where he died, when she died in 2007. So this is a case that went on for ages. Her daughter Kate came forward with a bombshell. She, so Jessica, bit of background. Jessica was a communist sympathizer who spoke Russian. She and the Summerton Man had an affair, and her son Robin was his. So they believe that so it's kind of a weird theory of like it interlinks between the two. So they believe that he was a spy. He was killed by the Russians, and then that explains why he has Jessica's phone number in that book, because they believe that they had an affair. So well, not believe, they knew. His daughter Kate came forward and said, yeah, they had an affair. My brother, that's his dad on that beach.
But I still don't understand what the book. Why?
So the code, they believe it wasn't a spy code as such, but it was a series of private references to their relationship, or a death note, almost. So they believe that he was really in love with her, and because she was obviously had a husband, she said, no more of this. And that he died on the beach just to be near her one last time.
He died of a broken heart.
Yeah. And yeah, so the code actually doesn't mean anything. It's just a code between them that they know. So because she was Russian. She spoke Russian, sorry.
I think I struggle with this one is like, how did nobody else know who this man was? Like, if he was having an affair with this nurse, then that means that like he would have had to, he would have been living in that area for a while, and so someone would be like, oh, I've seen that guy. Yeah, I saw him at the pub, or I saw him walk in the shop, or I saw him. Yeah, he looked like Daniel Craig. But unless, and I just thought about this now, but you'll probably correct me on this. Unless, well, she knows Russian, she's a Russian sympathizer. Maybe she met him out there. I don't know if it says that she went to Russia at any point, but if she did, maybe she met him out there. Maybe he's then come down to come see her, and they've shagged.
Yeah.
Does it say anything about her going to Russia?
No, she just spoke Russian. She was just a communist sympathizer. So I think she read a lot of like Russian literature and things like that.
Well, I guess it's possible as well that maybe they were sending letters. No, they wouldn't have been sending letters.
I mean,
that would have been caught in the post.
It all kind of makes sense to me, apart from I still don't understand the book. Like, if he was Russian, he was a spy, and then he got chatting to this woman, and he sort of went off, mission or whatever. And then the Soviets were like, oh, he's talking too much to this woman, and we can't trust her, so we're gonna have to kill him. I don't understand why, if they killed him, one, if it was them and they were there, or like there was some other Russians there that did the poisoning, why this book, is it insinuated that he took this book and wrote the things in it, or
that's what the theory.
But why would he go into someone's car, rip out 2 words, stuff them in his pocket?
Maybe they knew about that poet. Like he knew she had that poetry book or something.
But it's not her book. It's a guy. It's a random guy.
I know. But maybe he saw it when he was going past.
And if he wanted to make it obvious, like maybe if he suspected that he was getting killed, why wouldn't he just write something in himself and like put it in his pocket? Or I don't know, like why in that back of the guy? I don't know. That doesn't make sense.
What did the daughter say about the affair that her mother had?
She didn't really. She just came out and said that they had an affair.
But like, was she like, yeah, I saw him around the house a couple of times?
No, I think she just. I think when her mother died, I think her mother said to her about the affair.
Yeah, that makes sense. Well, in which case, I think it sort of makes more sense. It backs up my theory as well, that sort of that one like whirlwind love. She's a communist sympathizer, and she speaks Russian, and let's say she meets this guy on this night. She could, in theory, be like quite infatuated with her. And maybe their marriage is going really badly, and like so they just shag that night. And you know, maybe he's just arrived in Australia to do this mission, which is why no one recognizes him. And I mean, he's still got the bus ticket, and so you know that happens, sort of whirlwind thing. But then why would he? It seems pretty insane for him to fall in love with her that fast to be able to be bothered to write. And like you said, right, like the theory of like the codes, the letters being like inside jokes. That would only be the case if you'd known someone for a while. And there's no way that he lived around that area for that long. And without people recognizing him when he came up on the news. Like you know, there are people I see in my town. If someone came up on the news, I could, I mean, could someone live in a village for, you know, a year if they really kept to themselves and nobody recognized them when they die? Is that possible? I mean, what do you think?
I think a year someone would. Like, even, I don't know. I mean, when I go to work and it's like lunch break, I see the same people.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know who they are. But there's probably like 200 people, and I probably, you know, if you ask me if it was on the news, but I think I've seen him like, on my lunch break.
Yeah. Unless he was just very, you know, I mean, he could be a spy. So unless he's just very secretive with how he is, like maybe he always has a cap on, he doesn't show his face very much, and he's always, you know, he doesn't really go to the shops that much. Maybe he very much keeps to himself. Maybe he was working with the other Soviets, and they had like a little house or something, and he was just living there the whole time. And they'd get someone else to bring him the food and stuff. So he never saw anyone in public. But then, you know, when he was out in the public, you know, as he does here, and you know, obviously you go outside for a bit. Maybe he then met this girl, and she's a Russian sympathizer, and they speak Russian, and he'd like get on with her. And let's say he's been there for 6 months, for example, and then they develop this like strong love, and he's sneaking out to go meet up with her and stuff. And then after 6 months, you know, they think, okay, this, you know, maybe the Soviets find out, and they think like either A, he's, you know, giving her information, or B, you know, maybe he's going to swap allegiances, or he's going to like join Australia, like, or maybe he's just being, maybe they, you know, maybe they interrogate her or him, and they find out he's been telling her some stuff, and like that's, you know, that's no good. He's got to go, and so they poison him, and then he, you know, yeah, when he's walking around and he finds this car and he just wants to write this in, he puts the phone number in because he knows that the police will call her, and he pulls out that bit because, you know, it's kind of poetic to be like, this is the end or whatever. It's interesting that he knows that means that.
Yeah.
Pretty convenient, but obviously he's a spy, he could know that, it's fine. Then he goes and, you know, he sits down and he dies. It's just interesting that the Soviets would also let that happen. If he did live in the house, you would have thought that they would kill him in the house, and like you know, letting a spy's body be discovered, that's not a good look. But then again, maybe there's a lot of reasons why he could have, maybe he ran away, maybe he escaped and they poisoned him or something like that. But yeah, I think that makes the most sense to me.
Okay. Yeah, I like that theory. So I didn't tell you about this kind of bombshell in this case, actually. So so what was it? So in 2022.
Whoa, it's still going. Let's
Yeah,
still have new information. Oh, hell yeah.
2022, researcher Derek Abbott and genealogist Colin Fitzpatrick looked at the body, and they identified who the person was.
No way.
Yeah, they identified him as Carl Charles Webb, an electric engineer and instrument maker from Melbourne. Through DNA.
Oh,
Yeah.
no way.
Yeah.
Pretty sure Adelaide's quite close to Melbourne now that I think about it. Where is Adelaide?
Bit of backstory of why they. So, this guy Carl Webb, he was electric engineer, and he had apparently had a mental breakdown after his wife Dorothy had left him. He was really in love with her. She left him, filed for divorce, all that jazz. And he kind of became a bit of a loner, apparently, who loved horse racing and poetry.
Wow.
Yeah. And they think that what happened was that he traveled to Adelaide to track down Dorothy, because I think she moved to the area. And he might have got some information from somewhere or someone that she was there. But he couldn't find her and was out of money. And then decided, you know what, my life's over, and committed suicide using a digitalis-based poison, which is really hard to detect even today. So could be the reason why they couldn't detect it back in 1948. And because he felt it was finished, he had that tamanshud in his coat, in his little trouser pocket. So that is what they think's happened. They don't think it was a spy. They don't think he, was anything like that. They just think this was this guy. He just had a bad relationship.
It's interesting.
That's interesting.
It's like an unsolved mystery that now in 2022 is.
What I find, I don't really like the end of this story. This is why I didn't tell you straight away, because I find it is like, oh well, they found the DNA, it's been solved. But I still think there's people still think there's mystery still behind it, because the fact of the nurse's phone number never really got explained, even in this new DNA. Maybe he had an affair with her, but I just don't like that he was just. I just don't know. I think maybe I think it's a bit more complex than that. I think there is some spy element to it. I think maybe there could be some.
Nah.
So where's an electrical engineer?
I got it.
You think you got it? I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know where is an electric engineer getting digitas?
I'm
sure.
Maybe just bought it from the shop. You can probably get it if you're dedicated.
Yeah.
The thing that I've got my biggest tripe with this, and it's also based on what you've said that sent us down these other holes, like to not explore the one that these people have said they found out. Is you said this was like national news.
Yeah,
like this was a big deal. How
this is a big deal? Yeah.
The hell could this possibly be? How the hell could this possibly be national news? And the wife who lives in Adelaide, it would be massive news in Adelaide. Like, it would be all over the place. And if she lives even near Adelaide, she would hear about it, see the picture, and be like, that is literally my husband. Like, my ex-husband. Like, she's not going to just not call it in. And yeah, this guy became a bit of a loner, but he's still...
She lived in Boot, which I don't know.
She lived in Boot?
She lived in Boot.
Blimey.
I don't know what that is. But yeah, go on.
But yeah, I mean, like, even if he is a loner after the divorce, like, there's going to be people in Australia who know what he looks like, and they will see the picture of him.
Oh yeah,
but then again,
is North Adelaide, by the way.
Then again, this is 1948. I don't know how many people had TVs in Australia in 1948, but maybe not that many people
just
did.
Be on the radio, I guess.
But maybe I would have thought it'd be in newspapers, but maybe they didn't put his face in the newspapers. So, but you think that they would put his face in the newspapers because they want people to reach out.
When I say it's national, it wasn't that. It was more. It was Adelaide, like the Adelaide area, which Adelaide is a big city in Australia. It was covered in the Adelaide newspapers and stuff like that. So
Also,
and the wife, she lived. You say north,
yeah, in a small town called Butte, north of Adelaide. So she might not have,
she
got the
might have
paper.
missed it.
She might have missed the
She
paper.
might have missed it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it because it kind
and
of
the fact that he's from Melbourne. I mean, it might not have got over to Melbourne. So.
Yeah. Also, I mean, they just got a picture of his dead face, so like, it's not. People when they look dead can look a bit different.
Yeah,
like puffy and all that stuff. So if it's someone like that I knew a long time ago, I just was like gazing through the newspaper and saw a picture of a dead person that I used to know, but their face looks quite different. I might not notice.
Yeah.
So that makes sense.
So
the nurse part's weird.
The nurse part is really weird.
I mean, the fact that the nurse, that means he obviously did shag her.
Yeah, I think he just shagged her. I think he just shagged her, and then he's probably a bit fucked up in the head.
Did they say when he got, like, how long he'd been in Adelaide for? How do they know he was going to Adelaide to try and meet his ex-wife? How do they not know?
I guess that's just...
They're just theorizing. They're theorizing that he went to try and track her down because he knew that she was in the area.
I think it is way more likely that this nurse went to Melbourne just on like a trip there, met this guy while he was lonely, and they hit it off, and then maybe they were sending love letters to each other.
There'd be records of that, though.
Why would? What do you mean there'd be records of that?
Like in the mail, surely.
Well, yeah, but they don't read your mail. He's having.
That's true. Yeah, no.
Yeah, and if he's having an affair, they're going to be keeping that on the down low.
Yeah.
So then I think he went to Adelaide to meet her. I don't think he went to Adelaide to meet his ex-wife.
Oh, yeah.
I think he went to Adelaide to meet her, and then maybe she was like, I can't be with you. I've got this husband and everything. And like maybe this was like the last sort of like, oh please,
last straw. He's just been divorced. Now he's like, yeah.
And then he goes and he's like, and then she's like, no, I don't want to be with you. So he writes that. So like that evening, he's like, or maybe like that day or something. He's like, okay, I'm gonna have to kill myself. Takes the poison. Writes in that notebook, takes that thing out and sits down. I think the other things that'd be interesting to know is, like, does this guy have a history of cutting the tags off of his clothes as well? I think.
It's true.
What was it? Sorry, they mentioned that in the thing. So, where was it? Did they actually? No, they didn't. Ignore me.
Maybe it was more common practice back in the day.
Could it not have been custom made as well?
Yeah, custom made. Yeah, could be.
I reckon what they think is pretty accurate. I mean, I think doesn't really add up. I think it shows as well how it can be pretty simple, but because it's unsolved, people's minds go to, like, spies and stuff, when in reality it's pretty simple, but because you don't know the story, then it all gets a bit suspicious with, like, the poem and stuff. But I think it is probably just pretty simple that he just went to try and find his wife because he was like, well, my life's depressing now because I don't have a wife, whatever. And then he was like, oh, fuck it, I'll just shag this new woman because I'll kill myself anyway. And then he did it. And then she was like, yeah, sorry, I shagged you, but I'm married. And he was like, oh, fuck that. So yeah.
Nice.
Get me out of here.
He can't catch a break. So, fuck that.
He's like,
he had a wife, broke up with her. He then like, oh yeah, fucking yes, I get to shag. Oh, she's married. That's another one gone.
The one thing though is the code written on that book still has not been cracked.
Yeah, but maybe he didn't even know what he was writing.
The theory with that is because he liked the race. He liked horse racing. He was like a big gambler into horse racing. Apparently, it's something to do with that. Like it's just him putting down, like.
Well, he was so hooked on horse racing that he couldn't get off it, and he was writing down.
Like him writing like I don't know.
That seems
like,
ridiculous.
I'm gonna bet on A, or like I don't know, but it's very far-fetched, that one.
No, that's not it.
That's the theory.
That's not it.
I don't.
Maybe he's a time traveler and he's trying to give people tips to what horses win the next race. Yeah.
Maybe. But yeah.
Yeah, that code is interesting.
You know, I'm going to ask you for that code after this call.
Yeah, should we crack it, Rolf?
I'm going to crack it for next week's episode.
Yeah.
You're not going to crack it.
I'm going to crack it. Yeah, I'm going to crack it for next week's episode.
70 years, no one's cracked this code.
You said he was an electrical engineer. I am also an engineer. So
you are. I'm sure you're the only engineer. Yes,
I know what it's like to be in an engineer's mind, and I can.
It must give you the code now.
Yeah, well,
maybe he just liked writing letters.
Well, just give it to me. Yeah. I don't have anything to write down with right now, so just give it to me later.
I'll put it in our chat, and you both can have a look, have a little go.
Yeah, I reckon I'll get it. Yeah.
Do you want to just remind us one more time, actually, just for the listeners?
The code.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe with all our publicity, we can and all the viewers. Yeah, everyone can crack it. Yeah.
The code is okay. Right, I will say the code is okay. Right. So W. These are all capital letters, by the way.
Is it written down or like along or
written? It's lines. So like
okay.
That. So W space RGOABABD MLIAOI with a line crossed through it.
To cross it out?
Yes.
Oh, so you made a mistake.
WTBIMPANETP. Then there's a just a cross. And then underneath the cross, there's two more lines. MLIABOAIAQC, and then ITTMTSAMSTGAB.
There's a lot of lessons.
You're not going to remember any of that, listeners, but I will. There's a little funky thing on YouTube, and I think I can do a post on YouTube, and I will post it on YouTube on our channel, and you can have a go at cracking it.
Maybe he was playing Hangman with some friends.
Maybe.
Or he was playing like Scrabble. I've been playing with Pete, and it's quite useful to write all the letters down in different orders. So maybe he was trying to get a big score.
Did they have Scrabble in 1948?
Yeah, they would
have had it.
Yeah, probably.
Or
yeah.
Or maybe there's plenty of things he could have written down. Maybe
that was the mystery or solved mystery of the Summerton Man. It's a bit of a different one because it has up to date kind of hard evidence of who this person is, but it was interesting to hear.
So his son is still alive.
Things. Yes.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Can they not do a genetic? Well,
that's what I was
going to say. They could also just do like a DNA test on him.
Yeah,
and then they can see that he's not Russian. And
I imagine they did. I imagine they did do that.
I don't think they have to. There's no mention of a DNA test on him, but like you'd have to get he'd have to give his permission. And
of course.
He might not want to.
Yeah,
because he doesn't see him as his dad.
Yeah,
so
true.
He's like, I don't want to get involved in that. And that guy's probably quite old now.
Well, yeah, but the mum only died like in 2007. So, I guess 20 years. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if he was born in 48, he'd be 77, 8.
Oh, yeah, my grandpa was born in 45. Yeah, still kicking about.
Yeah. Still kicking a bit. But yeah, so that was the Summerton Man. Hope you guys enjoyed. Who's hosting next week?
It's
me.
As you?
Is it? No, wait.
No.
Yeah, you. I don't know. It depends because we changed up the order.
We changed
so
up the
are we
order.
going back to normal, or are we?
We're going back to Oscar. I
Well, have you
believe.
got one in the? Have you got one in the books ready to?
Yeah, I've got one in the books. I'm not, done it yet, but I've got one in the books.
Yeah, it'll be Oscar, then Rolf, then me again.
Yeah. Okay, let's do that.
Okay, that's okay.
So it's also gonna be Oscar who's treating us to a new mystery. Or is it a conspiracy, Oscar? What is it?
No. It's a mystery. It's a mystery.
Can you give us any detail? Any little nugget of...
Well, I can give them what it's called, but I guess we don't want people. I don't know. Should I say what it's called, or should I just say what it's called?
Give it. Or do what I did. I just said it was Australian.
It's called the Sodder Children mystery.
Oh, you've mentioned this. You've mentioned this to me. I don't know anything about this.
Yeah, it's quite. It's
quite a famous. Is it quite a famous one?
Don't know. I found it. So
I found it.
I don't think it's that famous. I haven't heard of it. But
no.
Yeah, it's quite interesting. But I mean,
okay, I'm excited.
Is it? I'm asking for Rolf here.
Is it scary? Is it scary? Well, the thing is, the Yuba County one.
Scary.
The Yuba County one
does sound scary. The Sodder Children.
Yeah.
I imagine Rolf will find it creepy, but that's not saying much. So, yeah, I don't know, maybe a tiny bit, but I wasn't scared on this one.
Yeah, but Rolf is,
Yeah.
Well,
thanks for not having a scary one this time, Reese.
No worries. No scary ones for me yet.
Yeah.
Right. Well, thank you for listening. I've been your host for this one, Reese.
I've been your host and signing off.
Signing off. We'll see you next week with the Sodder Children from Oscar.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
All right.
Cheers.